Unit profile. The unit profile contains the model's characteristic profiles and model rules, including their mundane equipment. See Figure 13. Characteristic profiles. The characteristic profiles of each unit entry contain the values of all of a unit's global, defensive, and offensive characteristics. Note that the values displayed here represent the model's unmodified characteristic values, excluding any modifiers, for example, from model rules and equipment. For instance, in case of armor, the characteristic value displayed here represents the model's innate armor, granted, for example, from scales or a tough hide. Any armor from armor equipment, like light armor in the example above, will have to be added on top of the armor value displayed in the defensive profile. In this example, the models will have an armor of 3, 2 from the model's innate armor, and 1 from their light armor, which will give them a 4+ armor save against attacks without any armor penetration. See Armor Saves, page 18. The profile also displays the model's unmodified strength and armor penetration. Any strength and armor penetration modifiers, for example from weapons, will have to be added on top. In our example, the model's close combat attacks will have a strength value of 4 and an armor penetration value of 1. Due to the innate strength of 3 and the +1 strength and armor penetration modifiers from the halberds the models are equipped with. 9. Model rules. In this part of the unit entry, the unit's model rules are displayed. The global model rules comprise the unit's universal rules in alphabetical order. The defensive model rules comprise the unit's personal protections and armor equipment. In case a unit has more than one model rule from these categories, personal protections will be listed first, in alphabetical order, followed by the unit's armor equipment, in alphabetical order. The offensive model rules comprise the unit's attack attributes, special attacks, and weapons. In case a unit has more than one model rule from these categories, attack attributes and special attacks will be listed first, in alphabetical order, followed by the unit's weapons, in alphabetical order. In some unit entries, you will notice certain model rules in bold, like Tin Man's Heart in the example above. Bold font is used here to highlight Army-specific model rules that are defined in the unit entry. Options. In this part of the unit profile illustrated in Figure 14, you will find all the optional and mandatory upgrades that can be bought for a unit when building the Army. 10. Command Group Options. Certain units have one or more command group options in their unit entry, which allow them to upgrade one model of the unit to a champion, another model to a musician, and another model to a standard bearer. This means that a single RNF model cannot be upgraded to be a musician and a standard bearer at the same time. In addition, each unit can only upgrade models to a single champion, a single musician, and a single standard bearer. Note that upgrading the unit with a champion or musician or standard bearer does not grant you extra models for the unit as you upgrade models that are already part of the unit. Some command group models have additional options for upgrades. For instance, the standard bearer in the example above can purchase a banner enchantment. These options are listed indented underneath the corresponding command group model. In order to have access to such an additional upgrade, you must first upgrade a model to the corresponding command group model, and only then you can buy the upgrade for that model. 11. Unrestricted options. Many units have options to upgrade their models with weapons, armor, certain model rules, etc. In some cases, the point cost per unit is indicated, regardless of the number of models, while in others, like in the example above, the unit entry gives the point cost per model. Note that if you choose to buy such an upgrade, you must always upgrade all models of the unit accordingly. 12. Restricted options. Certain options may come with restrictions. These may, for instance, be associated with an altered maximum number of models per unit, in the example above 25 instead of 50, or with a restriction regarding the number of units with the upgrade an army may contain, up to 2 units in the example above. Another possible restriction is an upper limit on the total number of models with a given upgrade per army. In this case, the sum of all models of all units with that upgrade in the army may not exceed that upper limit. Other options cannot be combined with one another. These are listed indented underneath one choice only in the unit entry. In the example above, the models in the unit may be upgraded either with shields or with paired weapons. They may, however, not gain shields and paired weapons. In case there are several groups of these, one choice only upgrades for a unit. The unit may be given up to one choice of each group. 13. Model rules. In case a unit profile contains any unit-specific model rules, these rules will be explained in this part of the unit entry. Complex unit entries. In addition to the elements detailed above, certain units may have additional distinctive features that will be explained based on the character unit entry in Figure 15. Certain units, like characters, consist only of a single model. These units are labeled as single model units. They follow the same rules as units consisting of multiple models, but there may be certain differences, like characters being able to join other units. Just like regular units, characters may have a unit cap. This cap applies to all characters of this type, regardless of their upgrades, equipment, and mounts. In this example, this means that you can only have up to 3 Wicked Witches in your army, for example, one of them on foot and 2 on witches' brooms. Models that can cast spells are referred to as wizards. Wizards come in 3 different types: Wizard Apprentice, Adept, and Master. The model rules tell you which wizard type the model has by default. In this example, the Wicked Witch is a Wizard Apprentice, while the magic options show you which types the model can be upgraded to. In case you upgrade your wizard, the upgrade replaces the default wizard type. In addition, you will also find in this section the paths that the wizard has to choose a single one from. The wizard will select its spells from this chosen path. See Spell Selection, page 30. Certain models, like most characters, have access to weapon enchantments, armor enchantments, artifacts, etc. These upgrades are referred to as special items. See Special Items, page 101 and the 9th H. Fantasy Battles, Arcane Compendium. If a model can buy special items, you will find this information in the unit entries options, together with the maximum amount of points a model can spend on them. Characters are usually on foot by default. Most of them can, however, be given a mount. The mount options will tell you which mounts are available for a character and how many points you have to pay for them. Note that a character may always only take a single mount. As explained above, unit entries will contain unit-specific model rules. In addition, you will sometimes also find optional model rules. In order to gain these model rules, you must buy the corresponding upgrade for the model. Unit entries with multi-part models. The examples above show entries of units with models consisting of a single model part, but there are also many multi-part models in the game. See Multi-Part Models, page 7. The unit entry of a character mount, the winged monkey chariot from the example in Figure 16, will be used to explain the particularities of this type of unit entry. Like for any other unit entry, there may be restrictions on the number of character mounts that can be part of an army. In the example above, the army may only contain up to a single character, regardless of the type, on a winged monkey chariot. This restriction only applies to character mounts, so if an army book contains the character mount additionally as a unit in another army category, you are allowed to take this unit in addition to the character mount in your army. In case of a multi-part model character, many of a model's characteristic values will be determined by the mount's characteristics, unless they are marked with C or C plus X in the mount's profile. See Special Cases of Characteristic Values, page 13, which refers to the value in the character's profile. In this example, the mount does not have a proper discipline value, but the multi-part model uses the character's discipline, which is 8. Models consisting of a single model part have one global, defensive, and offensive profile each. Multi-part models also have one global and defensive profile each, which apply to the entire multi-part model. However, they do have a separate offensive profile for each identical model part. The mount above has 5 model parts, 2 crew members and 2 winged monkeys, as indicated by the 2 in brackets, and a chassis, which all have their own offensive profile. Hidden and open lists. Rules are written and balanced based on the principle of openness, and we encourage players to share their full army lists with their opponents at the start of the game. This army list should include all units, unit options, special items, special abilities, point costs, and so on. The only things that are not open to your opponent are things that are explicitly stated as hidden or secret. Optional rules for hidden lists. Some players may prefer to use so-called hidden lists, and for those players we have included the hidden list rules. Please note that the game is not balanced with these rules in mind. In this format, most of your army list will be open, meaning that your opponent should know what your army consists of before the game starts. However, some parts of your army are secret or hidden. Both players should provide their opponent with the open part of their army before the game begins, referred to as a mundane army list. The following elements are included in the hidden part of your army. Special items that are picked from the list of common special items given in the 9th Age, Fantasy Battles, Arcane Compendium. Special items that are specific to army books, as well as any option that follows the rules for special items such as demonic manifestations and runic special items. Anything not on this list belongs to the mundane army list. If an army has 2 or more units or models that are identical regarding their open part, but have hidden differences, the player must be able to tell the units apart in the hidden list. For example, if a player fields 2 units identical in every way except that one has an enchanted banner and the other doesn't, the army list may specify that the unit with the enchanted banner has a red banner while the unit with a blue banner possesses no such special item. Revealing special items. Special items, or similar, must be revealed the first time they are used. A special item is considered as being used when it affects or could affect the game in any way. For example, it affects a dice roll, even if the actual result of the dice has no effect. It alters an attack, such as an enchanted weapon, or any special item with a rule that affects an attack. It alters a saving roll, reveal the special item before making the saving roll. Note that a special item that affects the saving roll the same way as the non-enchanted counterpart would does not need to be revealed. A special item that increases movement only counts as being used if the unit moves farther than it could without it or when charging. Declare that you have the special item before rolling the charge range, but after charge reactions are resolved. When revealing runic special items, only reveal the rune that is being used, not the entire combined item.